One of the major themes in Donald Trump's RNC speech last night was law and order. In fact, on about 4 separate occasions, he mentioned it by name and stressed it and tried to say, I am the law and order candidate. In fact, we have a little clip of it. Check it out.
There can be no prosperity without law and order.
Law and order. He was a little bit screamy last night. Now, I'm not one to critique because everybody knows I'm horrible in that realm, and actually, I probably have one of the most annoying voices in the world when I scream. So I understand. Glass house all around this bitch. But with that being said, yeah, at times Trump was a little bit, I don't know, it seemed a little bit like just aggressive, too loud, and just unnecessarily loud. Bill Maher later on in the night said something like, he looked a lot like Mussolini. I don't know if I'd go that far. Mussolini was a little bit of a better public speaker, at least with his speeches compared to Trump's last night. Overall, I kind of like Trump's fake straight shooter delivery. I think that, his rambling speeches usually actually go over pretty well compared to the overly calculating speeches. But he kept bringing that up. Law and order, law and order, law and order, law and order. And the thing that frustrates me is, so the rest of the media can come out there and just say, oh, yes, law and order. He's the law and order candidate. And they just repeat what he says. Or they just bring up, well, look, that was the theme. And then they just pretty much leave it at that. But that is journalistic malpractice, in my opinion. Because you have to fact check some shit like that. I'm the candidate of law and order. Okay, well, there's an objective question there. You are the candidate of law and order. Okay, so what's the criteria? How would we measure whether or not you are the candidate of law and order? Well, I don't know. Let's start with, do you follow the laws? The answer to that is an overwhelming no. So, for example, Trump said he wants to bring back torture, quote, even if it doesn't work. Okay, first of all, even if it did work, it would still be illegal under U.S. law and under international law, and obviously under the Constitution, because, we protect from cruel and unusual punishment. That's the 8th Amendment. Torture, of course, is cruel and unusual punishment. So he's like, I'm the candidate of law and order, except when I'm not, and I want to personally violate it. So he's repeatedly said, yeah, I'm going to bring back torture. Not only am I going to bring back waterboarding, I'm going to bring back much worse than waterboarding. So you believe in law and order, except for when you don't. So you don't believe in law and order. Now, not only that, it gets significantly, significantly worse. He says, well, I want to kill the terrorist families. I want to kill the terrorist families. So you're going to target civilians on purpose. That would be the opposite of law and order. That would be you admitting you want to murder people and you want the United States to officially take terrorist actions. One of the many reasons ISIS are horrible is because they target civilians on purpose. So Trump's response to that is, and he said this in his speech, we need to defeat the barbarians or something to that effect. So his response is, we need to defeat the barbarians by becoming barbarians. Copy their tactics, because their tactics are awesome. If you want to copy their tactics, you're not the opposite of them. You're just like them. So, no, again, you don't believe in law and order. If you want to talk about killing civilians, imagine that in any other context. I mean, what, it's different because, the civilians in this case are in Pakistan, or they're in Yemen, or they're in Syria. No, they're still civilians. Imagine he said that about, people he disliked in Arkansas. We're going to kill, there's a bunch of groups in Arkansas that are a little questionable. We're going to kill their families. We're going to take out their families. We're going to take out their families. Law and order. I'm the law and order candidate. You just advocated murder, you idiot. That's not law and order. That's the opposite of law and order. But my favorite one, because again, it's hilarious he's ranting about this, and the media will just run with it. Yeah, law and order candidate, law and order candidate. You want to talk about law and order? Dude, you are against the ultimate law. The ultimate law. He said that the Geneva Conventions is, quote, the problem. You believe in law, except the supreme law, which is international law, which is like a basic set of guidelines to not be savages and barbarians and degrade into an uncivilized situation all around the world. So you believe in law, except the best law, the fucking Geneva Conventions. See, this is what I mean, man. And this is why this stuff gets under my skin more than anything. It's like, he can be the biggest hypocrite and say the most preposterous things ever, but since he's Donald Trump, he just gets to override it. Like, no, it's because of how he speaks. So how he says it, and the fact that he's just super dismissive of any criticism, that the media has just given up at this point. They're like, oh, yeah. Law and order candidate. He says the law and order candidate. I guess he's the law and order candidate. No, you can't let him get away with that. I mean, I remember they used to make a big scandal. He said a naughty word. They used to do that. So on PC outrage, they'll focus on it and do, for 3 days straight, they'll do wall-to-wall coverage about how some Republican group released an ad that shows him cursing a bunch. They'll go, oh, is he really suitable for our kids to see? This is such a scandal. Melania plagiarizes a speech. It's headlines for 2 days straight. Oh, she plagiarized. Oh, scandal, scandal, scandal. Trump says the Geneva Conventions is the problem. Crickets all over the place. Nobody spoke about this for 2 days straight. Nobody had glaring headlines. Nobody was like, what the... And you're going to say you're the law and order candidate when you're against the Geneva Conventions. That is insanity. Doesn't happen. All the substantive shit that should take him down. This jackass doesn't know the difference between Hamas and Hezbollah. As he's running for president of the United States, he didn't know the difference between the Kurds and the Quds Force. As he's running for president of the United States. Did that get the same kind of attention that Melania's, 5 plagiarized lines in her speech did? No! So the media is focused on all the wrong things. You have to fact check him. You have to hold him accountable. Trump's rise is also partly because our media is broken. If our media wasn't broken, if everybody covered Donald Trump like I covered Donald Trump, it'd be a different story. Because there's some things where you say, no, you draw a red line and you say you're so outside of the realm of respectability and that which is, normal and humane and civilized, that people need to understand if they vote for you, they are voting for a terrorist. You're saying I'm going to do a terrorist attack. I'm going to kill civilians. So at least you got to let people know that. Like people, they don't let him know that. The worst they go with Trump is he said naughty words. And then people just say, oh, he's un-PC, so I like him. No, it's not that he's not politically correct. It's that he's not correct. He's saying, I want to kill civilians. That's fucking insanity. That's why I did the ad calling him Terrorist Don. Because he said, I want to be a terrorist. That's what I want to do. Give me the world's most powerful army in human history. And give me the nuclear codes. And everything will be all right. I don't know who Hamas is. I don't know who Hezbollah is. I don't know the Kurds. I don't know the Quds Force. I don't know dick about anything. But I will ignore the Geneva Conventions. I will kill civilians. I will torture people. And where's the media? Fucking crickets. He says he's the law and order candidate. The media goes, he's the law and order candidate. What are you going to do? He's the law and order candidate. That's what he says, so that's what he is. No, you need to fucking fact check. Picture this from a historical perspective. Let's say Trump becomes president, God forbid. Let's say he starts bombing all over the place. Oh, we're going to attack ISIS. He just starts bombing indiscriminately, carpet bombs Syria, kills untold numbers of civilians. In history, how will that be judged in history? 50 years down the road, 100 years down the road, whatever the fuck it is. People look back and they go, wow, American culture was broken. That's what they'll say. Why? Because this guy told you what he was going to do in the campaign. And we still didn't stop him. People voted for him anyway. I mean, even Hitler didn't say, I'm going to do the fucking final solution as he was campaigning when he got 43% of the vote and he ended up winning with a plurality. Even he didn't say that. So they at least coded their shit a little bit. Trump didn't even code his shit. Yeah, I'm going to kill civilians. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring back torture. That's what I'm going to do. If we vote for him when he's saying that, what does that say about us? What does that say about the American people? I mean, come on, man. We got to wake up about this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hillary Clinton is horrible in her own right, and there's an argument she's a war criminal in her own right. But here you have a guy who's promising to kill civilians and pull out of international agreements and ignore international law as he says he's a law and order candidate. And if we don't nip this shit in the bud and say, dude, you're just wrong and you want to be a terrorist, well then, his influence metastasizes, and that's partially on us. So we got to call it out for what it is. He ain't the fucking law and order candidate. He's the exact opposite of that, and his own words prove it.